as usual, I got cut off earlier, and I want to show you my newest problem on my computer. So you can see the caps lock isn't on. Look at this. It's showing up. It's showing up as caps. So whenever I send a message, it seems like I'm screaming at people, and I'm like, "Hey!" And I gotta figure out what's going on with this keyboard. I think maybe the caps lock button is locked up, but who knows? I will share with you guys this article that I read. The link is in the description below. So I was looking up aging today. I wanted to understand what goes on with women as they age. Their bone actually starts changing. So for instance, right, as you get older, as a woman or a male, your faces tend to get longer. For males, I believe their face looks a little bit more square like. Their eyes look a little more hollow. So when you look at, let's say, someone who's older versus someone younger, right, their eyes tend to look more droopy, and that's because the bone is changing. You can't fight that. You can always try to preserve your health in terms of, your in terms of how your body is. You can always try to take care of your skin, avoid the sun, but there is no stopping bone changes. I see it in myself. I see my face is getting a little longer as time goes on, and I just have to accept it. So I can use all the creams I want, all the tallow balm I want, all the serums I want, but inevitably my face is gonna look more aged. But I hope that I can reduce the wrinkles. Anyway, so this article says, "Dear Abby, my wife is not aging well and she gets angry when I bring it up. Dear Abby, I met my wife when we were very young and into partying. We're now middle aged and heading into different directions. I focus on physical and mental well being. I work out daily, eat healthy, and maintain a positive attitude. She spends her time lying around, drinking, smoking, constantly exposing herself to negativity through the internet. She is now on medication for depression and anxiety. My attempts at discussion are mostly met with anger and defensiveness or dismissed as a bad time to talk. I feel we reach a crossroads in our health. I want her to be as fit and healthy as possible so we can enjoy our golden years together. How do I get her to join me in a healthier lifestyle before it's too late?" There's no indication of how old they are, but I guess middle age. What is middle age? 40? 50? I hope it's not 30. So this Willing in Washington. So Abby, well, I guess I don't know. Is this her wife or her wife? Her daughter? I forgot. Like there was a change to this. So maybe I don't know who that person is. But anyway, it says, "Dear Willing, your wife may have reached a fork in the road of her life. If your description is accurate, you are living with a woman who is depressed, angry, defensive, anxious, and self-destructive. A way to get her to join you in a healthier lifestyle would be to convince her that her own path to wellness will begin with consulting a mental health professional before it's too late and the damage she does is doing to herself becomes irreversible. When you do, make sure she knows you're saying it because you love her and want to enjoy a long and happy life with her, something that clearly is not happening for her right now. If she still refuses, then you continue doing what you're doing, recognizing you cannot save someone who refuses to help herself." So when I read this, this is like a national thing. Like Dear Abby is very, very popular. I know it's popular in the U.S. I don't know if this is also in other countries, but as I was reading this is okay, 40 to 45. As I was reading this, I thought to myself this: of course you have a husband who looks like he cares a lot about what he eats, how he looks, physical and mental well-being, and then his wife, who is his partner, isn't the same way, and she obviously has some sort of issue. So I don't know. I understand that he's trying to discuss things with her, but I don't think he got an answer about what's causing her to have this anger and depression. Medication, I think, is something that but it does take a while. I heard it takes about 6 to 8 weeks for medication to kick in, and my concern about this is there has to be something that is making her feel insecure, making her just kind of give up on life. And there's something on the internet that she's reading or she's looking up, and I kind of like my guess, and this is all of course just my opinion here. It seems like it's turning into some kind of loop, right? She wakes up. She probably doesn't take care of herself, because she drinks, smokes, and she's constantly exposing herself to negativity. So if she's not in a healthy state of mind, she's not eating healthy nutrition, she's not breaking herself out of this negative cycle of thought, it's just going to continue on and on. And I think it's kind of worrisome that the husband isn't sharing. I'm assuming this is a husband, isn't sharing what could possibly be the thing. So if, for instance, right, if she feels like she is, I don't know, she is like a big, and that's making her feel insecure. If she's not trying to clean up her diet or trying to figure out a way to work on the acne, like go to a dermatologist, she's just gonna be living more in depression, anxiety. What I have learned through my own battle with depression, anxiety, and sometimes I do have these this kind of feeling. So it's not like I don't have any depression, I don't have any anxiety. It is heavily reduced though. But what is kind of really scary is that I've been through this kind of period of time where I just like my mind just gets so dark that time goes by and then I don't realize how much time has gone by, and I'm either stuck in the same place or I'm in a worse situation as well. And I think this woman, it would be helpful for her to speak to a mental health professional, but I think what she really needs is support. And I think that just having the husband, like I said, I'm assuming it's a husband. Wait, willing? I don't know if willing, what kind of name is, I think that's just an adjective. But I don't know about this person, if they're just saying like, hey, I want you to eat healthy, or hey, you're getting, let's say, you're gaining weight, how come you don't work out with me? I don't think that they're getting to the root of the cause. And there is just, like, I understand like he wants her to be as fit and healthy as possible, but clearly, right, there's something that he's missing out in there. So it's not just how do I get her to join me in a healthier lifestyle. I feel like he has to just really sincerely figure out what is just ruining her life. What thoughts go on in her head that is crippling her. And she, if she's 40, 45 years old, she has so much life ahead of her. She's really doing herself a disservice. So I think as a person like this, right, this dear Abby person is telling the husband to say things like, oh, go and see a mental health professional. I don't know how that's gonna be taken to, because it seems like she's angry and defensive already, and then she doesn't want to get any help. I think she's living inside of her head, and again, the only way I feel this woman will get help is if she's very open about what her insecurities are, what is pulling her down, what is going in her head. And until she is able to speak with the husband about this openly, she will continue on her own path. There is no little pep talk that is going to get through to her. So yeah, it's like, yeah, so make sure you say, you love her and you want her to enjoy a long, happy life. Something that if she still refuses, then continue to do what you're doing. Recognize it's not safe to refuse to help herself. I think he's already said that. I'm pretty damn sure he's already communicated like, hey, I want you to be as fit and healthy as possible. But maybe the reason why and this is me throwing things out here, right? I wonder if she looks at herself in the mirror, she's not happy with herself, maybe she has really bad acne, maybe she's overweight, maybe she has health issues, and then she goes on the internet and then she sees, let's say, these beautiful Instagram people, and then she she sees that, and then she just can't stop looking away, and it kind of becomes like a hobby in her head to beat herself down looking at these perfect women. And then she just kind of in a form of escapism. That's why she drinks and smokes, and she kind of gave up because she might be thinking, because it doesn't seem like she's fit, right? It sounds probably like she has a weight issue here. I would venture to say that she just is kind of trying to numb herself out of it. The Instagram people, they're probably not drinking a lot, smoking a lot. If you look hot, it's probably because you're putting a lot of work in your look. You have to focus on the diet. You got to focus on the exercise. You got to focus on just taking care of yourself, especially if you're focused on your image. So that is something that I think a lot of people don't seem to understand, when they kind of get caught up in these perfect people on Instagram. It's not just like they roll out of bed with the perfect hair and the six pack abs. There's a lot of work on the back end, and when people kind of give off this image like, oh, all I do every day is just frolic in the sun and I drink smoothies, and look at me, I'm eating a hamburger and I still am very svelte and I'm very skinny. People who have like depression or anxiety, they could see this kind of thing. It could just trigger them, and then they start beating themselves up mentally. And I think that's what's happening to this woman. She probably looks in the mirror. She sees contrast between her and the, let's say, like she's exposing herself to negativity through the internet. Sounds like sharing herself to someone else. um, I don't, the only way you're exposing yourself through negativity is you're either looking at something, researching things. And you normally, when I think about people being insecure on the internet, or that kind of stuff, I always think it's body image. Let me see here. Oh, oh my goodness. Emily, you know what? I hope you do really well on your exam. Actually, I know you're gonna do really well. Just of course, I know you're studying very, very well. But you know what really helped me out a lot when I was studying in college? Make sure before you go to sleep, write down notes or look at your notes while you're on bed. So the last thing you should look at while you're falling asleep are your notes. And when you do that, or you'll find that when you wake up, you'll have this stuff in your head. I'm not kidding you. Like, I used to do this like a week before my exams. I'd have my little notes or things on index cards, and I'd flip through it. Like, while I'm on the bus, I'd flip through it. Before I go to sleep, I'd flip through it. Before I take a nap, I'd flip through it. And by the time the finals came, I was just, I didn't have to worry about being run down. I had a lot of sleep, and I was like, oh my goodness. Every time I take a nap, every time I sleep, right after I look at my notes, or sometimes I sleep with the notes in my hand, kind of thing. Um, it's just, I wake up and I have like new material in my head. I don't know if it's because while I'm falling asleep, I'm still holding on to, like, say, definition terms or certain things. But yeah, try it. Try it. I wish that when I was in grade school, someone told me that. Someone told me, oh yeah, make sure you always carry your little notes with you. Study 1 week before the exam, and before you go to sleep, that should be the last thing you look at. Oh, ram that exam. Oh, I love it, Joshua. Emily, we'll all be praying for you. We will all be praying for you. I think you're going to do wonderful. And you know what? Even if you don't, it's okay, because we all falter. Just go for the next one. I know that does not sound very convincing, but I'm just being honest here. Like, sometimes, you do something, it's like, you didn't do as great as you expected. Charge stronger at the next one. So, yeah. So anyway, going back to this thing, I'm gonna be praying for Emily and her exam, because I know when I was doing exams, that thing was on my mind. But as long as you study early and you study often, you're gonna be fine. And then if you have any questions, of course, ask your teacher. Yeah. So yeah, that is all I have to say about this thing. Also, I do not think that I think this advice was a little brief. It said that if she refuses, then continue to do what you're doing, recognizing you cannot save someone who refuses to help herself. I don't know if I'm interpreting this wrong, but I feel like that sentence says, if you tell her you love her and you want her to get help, through a mental health professional, and she refuses, like, just give up on her. That's what it kind of sounds like to me. And I have a huge problem with that, because I think what's important to do is say, as you continue to progress, make sure that you always reach out to your wife and tell her, okay, you know what, I'm gonna go work out today, do you want to join me? Or, hey, I'm starting this diet, let's say I'm going on, I'm trying to go on keto, hey, do you want to do it together? Like that kind of, it seems kind of like hand holding. It really could work. So for me, I know I cannot work out by myself. It's just like a mental thing. Like if I work out by myself, I start feeling like a hamster. So I personally need to either work out in a group setting, or I need to work out with another person, because that way I feel like I'm getting support doing this kind of thing. It makes me feel very emotionally, I just feel very insecure if I was to lift weights by myself, because I'm kind of worried, like, what if I drop the weight, kind of pet myself forward when I'm struggling with certain weight. I forgot how much I can deadlift, or now, but I think for chest I can do 50 pounds. I think something like that. Chest, whatever. When you lie on your back on the bench and then you push forward, you lift the bar up. I forgot the name of it, but yeah, before I could barely hold the bar. So I am progressing forward, and again, I don't know about this woman, but I imagine she might be insecure about that. So a way the husband can help her with exercising is just offer to exercise with her. Tell her something like, hey, do you want to go on a walk around the neighborhood for 10 minutes? We can grab a smoothie or something. It's small little habits like that that really would make a difference. And I think this woman, she might be stuck in her head, just like I was for a number of years. But she might, if her husband keeps reaching out to her, she might actually warm up, right? So if they go on walks daily around the neighborhood, let's say they grab a smoothie, then he says, "Oh, hey, I'm trying to go on like keto," for example, right? Let's grocery shop together. Okay, then they're grocery shopping together. She gets better nutrition within herself, because I'm betting she's probably not getting good nutrition. She's getting better nutrition. She's going to be in a better headspace. Then from there, he's like, "Hey, you know what? Hey, I noticed that you look happier, the weight's falling off of you, eating so much sugary stuff." And she's not eating fried food as much because they're grocery shopping together. Then the husband can say things like, "Hey, do you want to go exercise with me for 30 minutes, like twice a week or 3 times a week?" And then maybe she'll accept, because she'll be like, "Oh, this is my husband who has been with me, supporting me, and this is just one little stepping stone." Then she starts working out, and then she feels like or maybe her clothes are getting loose, shopping, and then maybe they go shopping together, or maybe she goes shopping with her friend. She's going to feel more confident with herself, because she's going to see these changes happening in her life. And then from there, she's just going to turn into a healthier and fitter person, because she had that support. I think this woman, again, I think this is feeling very isolated, and if she doesn't want to get seek help from a mental health professional, I can understand that, because like some people, they don't want to open up to I completely that, because she's married to her husband, and because it seems like he does want her to live a long life. I don't see anything about indicating that he's just like, "Oh, she's a slob, she's holding me down, I'm gonna divorce her." I see it as like he sees hope in her, but he needs to continue being patient, and he needs to get to the root of what's happening. And one way you can do that is just do things together. How did it end? Lester and Lewis, did he knock you down with the hearts? No, I decided, well, I had the hearts up because I thought the front side looked a little depressing, and I shared in my previous stream. I feel happy that I did something about it, because like sometimes like things are outside of my control, right? But at least I know Sorry, you guys. I have my binder clip over there. But at least I know that I did put an effort to make it nicer. And if he doesn't like it, then I have to respect that. And yeah, I'm okay with him now. I mean, like I think the pampers, the sound panels can be improved. Um, However, you know, I did everything I could about that, so I can't really do much right now. So that is where I stand with the little paper hearts, and most, you know, the paper hearts going to be inside the recycle bin. I was thinking about keeping a paper heart or two, just as like a little memento of the time that I tried to work on the panels and it didn't work out because, yeah. Yeah, it's true. You know, people are. I'm just gonna flip the camera because you guys don't need this stuff anymore, right? Okay, let's see. Hey, okay, I am back. Okay, so as I was saying, and I gotta move a little backwards. My hair looks a little. I gotta charge my phone back. So you're hearing that binder clip because I have it on the cat stairs. So anyway, yeah, you need to find out whatever works for you. For some people, they work best on group settings when it comes to exercise. Other people work best just doing things by themselves. And what I think is important though is to make sure you always move forward. So I used to think exercise, and I know my camera is slanted. Come on. This thing is slanted because the cord is pulling it downwards. Hold on. Dang it. Ah! Why is this not tightening? Okay, hold on. Okay, I think this is not. No, because it's a swivel. So when I have, because of where the angle is of the cord, it's not holding in place. That's why it's moving. Okay, so I'm gonna be slanted for the time being. No, it's not your monitor. It's the camera because it's just pulling it downwards and. Okay. I can't seem to lock this thing in place. Oh wait, no. Oh, I was loosening it. Oh, my bad. Is this good? Okay, here we go. I was loosening it. Okay, not the tripod's fault. It was my fault. Okay, so as I was saying, yeah, you just got to make sure that you just take care of yourself 100%. And then if you see someone who is lacking and they aren't loving themselves, I know that sounds so freaking cliche for me to say it, but you have to figure out why they were in that headspace. And I think the internet can be a really dangerous thing because sometimes when you see the internet, right, the internet has always conditioned us to think, oh, we gotta put like our best foot forward, we gotta make our scene seem so like perfect. Like, how is life today? Awesome. What is life yesterday? Awesome. What do you want to do? I want to keep living an awesome life. I freaking hate people like that. I hate people like that so much that it's just like the only thing they do is just say that their life is great, they have no bad days. It's like, oh, it's just like, I think it's very one dimensional. But that's why like my channel isn't like that. You're never gonna see me be all like, oh yeah, I just like, I only have good days, I never have bad days, I never have any sort of issues because I am amazing. No, that's not how people think. So if people are caught up on those, let's say Instagram or Facebook or YouTube channels where it's like life is just so perfect, you know, they never drop a crumb on the ground when they're cooking, they never seem to be bloated, they never seem to have a sick day, it's always like their teeth are so perfectly white, they never have, you know, like they never have cavities. It's like one of those like superhuman kind of thing. Like, you got to recognize that it's not like that. I see people that I personally know that they like to portray that their life is just so perfect on Instagram, and then you meet them, and it isn't like that at all. Yeah, so what I'm talking about is like the people who just really care about, their perfect Instagram shots. The people who just have all these like heart stars and rainbows in their Instagram posts. It's like love and life. I love my life. My life is great. Number one life ever kind of thing. It irritates me. It irritates me so much because I never want to. For me, I never want to contribute to the whole mindset where if someone is going through depression, then I don't want to make them feel like, oh yeah, it's just you. Nobody else goes through depression except you. And I definitely don't go to depression because my life is perfect. And that's just the way I've always interpreted this kind of thing. But before, I used to get caught up on that kind of image. Let's see. Yeah, let's see here. Yeah, live, laugh, love. Not everyone's going to be living like feeling they're living, right? Especially if you go through bad days, and everybody goes through bad days. We all go through bad days, we all go through good days. But the most important thing, in my opinion, is we just move forward. Because I think, and when I look, I think it's important for people to kind of reach out to one another and just like look around them, look at their friends, look at those people that they personally know. These people are way more real than the people that you don't ever hear them mention a word on the internet, like those Instagram people. It's like you see them type something out, but if they're trying to be like an influencer, and especially if they're trying to sell their body or bikinis 24/7, and they have like perfect hair, perfect makeup, perfect dimensions, and it looks like, yeah, they came out of the shower looking like that. You just remember, like, that's just a snapshot, and there are hours of hair and makeup and self-care, and it's like a whole picture thing. It's not just do this whole thing in 10 minutes. Very, very few people can have perfectly styled hair in 10 minutes with the full face makeup, and then have a nice body without doing any exercise at all. So I think social media I think like this woman needs to get away from social media. It's not good for her, or she needs to have that realization that if she's comparing herself to other women that she doesn't personally know, that she only sees a snapshot of, and she doesn't realize like the back end work, then that is being just very destructive to her mental health. But I think also, and this is just my talking here, I kind of wonder if one of the reasons why she is like this is because of things she may have heard. So, for instance, right? Let's say if this guy works out daily, he eats healthy, and he has a good attitude. I have heard that for some people, and of course, I don't know if there's lockdowns with the gym. I don't know if the guy is working out at a gym. But let's say this guy goes to a gym, right? And then he's working out, and then a woman approaches him. So then he goes home and he tells the woman, his wife, oh yeah, you know what, this really hot woman approached me, and she asked me, she tried to ask me out, like, and he's happy about that because he sees it as a compliment. So that would be verification that he looks good, because a woman who is hot, who is probably fit if she's going to the gym, right? And he's telling his wife this, like, it's probably making his wife, who may be overweight or have a skin problem or a whole host of other things, feel like total crap. And maybe that's one of the reasons why she doesn't go to the gym. She doesn't want to work out, because it could be that he told her this kind of stuff. And the reason why I mentioned this is because I do know people who do go to the gym, and then they mention to me like, oh, this hot girl told me, approached me at the gym, and she's really good looking. And they see it, like, they say this kind of thing because of this. They say, it's a compliment. It's like a confidence booster. It's kind of nudging them that they are doing a good thing. And Yeah, but that woman, if she hears that kind of talk, oh my goodness, she must be riddled in insecurity, because she could be thinking, oh, my husband is looks good, he feels good, and all these women who are probably, more attractive than her are talking to the husband. And then she might say, like, you know what, I give up, I'm already overweight, I don't want to work out, because that's something that she would have to change, and it's easier to live in her head than do something about it. Depression and anxiety, as I've mentioned before, is extremely crippling. I don't take that stuff lightly, but my personal belief and what I've shared on this channel multiple times is, if you want to stop it, if you want to stop your depression, if you want to stop your anxiety, you really need to eat better. You really got to stay away from processed foods, to cut down the coffee, tea, drink water, eat things like whole natural foods. For me, I thrive best on like grass-fed meats, eggs, sardines, cauliflower rice, low carb. That works for me, and it works for me very well, in terms of like how I feel overall. But if I ate things like donuts and chocolate all day, I might feel good, right? Because I would have a lot of sugar high. But at the end of the day, I wouldn't. And I've looked into people who are sugar obsessed, and I remember I was watching this one thing on YouTube that people said something along the lines of, there was this woman, she had mentioned that she was a sugar addict, and one of the reasons why she was a sugar addict is because whenever she ate sugar, she would feel a sense of high, she would feel a sense of happiness. So for her to get away from her depression, she would just gorge herself on sugar. But when the high ended, the sadness reappeared. So if you eat too much sugar, right? If you eat too much carbs, too much sugar, your teeth will suffer, your nutrition will suffer. You might gain weight. Your skin might look like crap. It's just like it's not long lasting. So, in my opinion, gotta just start eating better, gotta drink more water, gotta exercise, do a wellness walk. If you are depressed to the point that you don't want to like take a shower or brush your teeth, you have to absolutely do that, because I find like, if after I take a shower, like sometimes I'll take 2 showers a day, I feel so much better afterwards. And I know some people would say, Erica, like, oh, think about water conservation and things like that, but it's it just makes me feel like more stronger, or like I wash off the whole negativity. Uh what? No, I actually don't talk to Lewis about this kind of stuff. I don't think it's like him suffering, but I think that, hold on. I'm looking like a freaking ghost over here. But the thing is that like, okay, that is 10 times better. The thing is like, when I tell him like certain stuff, he already either knows it, or the alternative is like, I just don't want to talk to him about certain things, like an article like this, because he might hear this article and he'll be like, uh-huh, uh-huh, uh-huh. Like, it's not mentally stimulating for him, but for other people it could be more mentally stimulating. Like, I like reading this kind of advice column, or seeing what people do, like if what their challenges are, and then what their solutions are, what proposed solutions are, because it helps me figure out, like, hey, if I go through something similar, how should I tackle it? How should I speak to people? How should I evaluate a certain situation? And I think knowledge is, I know this sounds so cliche, but like, knowledge is power. So when it comes to Lewis, like, he doesn't like this kind of stuff. It's not like earth changing, it's not like, it's not as something as exciting as other topics, like other topics being like some kind of revolutionary breakthrough kind of thing, or some kind of like big news article. You guys know, like, my channel, I talk about like all sorts of things. I talk about health, I talk about, things that I find about nutrition and aging and stocks, and just random things on my mind. Oreo is. Oh no, he's not. Is he sleeping over there? Oh, where's Oreo? He's not sleeping. Hello, handsome. He's just cuddling. He's over here. He is over here. Yeah, so like he is not, how would I say it? Like he is not much into this whole like emotional handling of stuff like I am. I like trying to figure out the way people think. I like to figure out ways that I can change my own thinking as well. And since I am that kind of person, like I want to find a solution to something, that's why I like hyper focus on certain things. You guys see me like go through this whole like dark hole of research sometimes. I'll be like at 4 a.m. just researching things, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I had no idea about it. And then I'll move on to another topic later on. Yeah, so oh, what is it? Yeah. So I have not picked up Oreo today. Yeah, so Scooby Club says that he had that suspicion. You are correct. It's like there are certain people that you know that you can talk to this kind of stuff about, and there's other people that are just kind of not interested. Like I know certain people in my life, like if I try to talk to them about stocks, right? They're gonna be like, I don't want to invest. I'm not interested in that stuff. Uh, I'm gonna lose all my money if I invest in a stock. And I'm like, no, no, no. Why don't you invest in like an ETF? ETFs go up slowly. You can look at the stock price of certain ETFs. Like, yeah, it might not go up as quickly as you want, or maybe there'll be a crash like there was in April of 2020, but it always just goes up forward. So those kind of people, it's like I will tell them certain things, and then it's just like, okay, let's talk about something else. So I don't like this kind of like Dear Abby stuff. You'd be like zero interest whatsoever, none, none. But I think other people in relationships will know what I'm talking about, because you have some people who are in relationships and one person's a total gamer and the other person is not. One person likes reading about, I don't know, world religions, and then the other person's like, I rather, they rather do something like bake. It's every person is different. So I definitely don't have similar interests to him when it comes to like tech stuff. It's like you guys see how I am with tech. I'm like, frick, how come this thing is not working? It's like the caps lock button is stuck and I try to like poke it out and I don't know what's causing it. So yeah, like tech stuff, I like I could read up on it, but it just goes over my head. So I won't talk to him about tech stuff at all because I can't compete at all. But he knows other people who he can have those conversations with for like tech stuff or politics and other stuff. Let's see here. Uh, yeah, I try to make it more home-like, but I think like we have different design things taste as well. So for me, I'm always trying to like add pops of color, add a little life over here. And it's like a fine balance because it's like I want to like part of me is like, "Oh, okay, I have so much cute items. I want to put them all together." But if you have too many cute items, it looks really cluttered, right? So, as a result of that, I gotta watch your time. As a result of that, it's been difficult for me to like figure out like, okay, what do I want to put over here? What don't I want to put over? Can I move something from over there to over here instead? And it's just been like a struggle because it's like I have an idea, but I'm trying to like move things around. Yeah, that's the other thing too. Like you guys can hear about things where, people say like this is what you should do with your life, this is how you should eat, you know, you should meditate every day. And I have said this stuff several times in my videos, but again, it's I have that same problem. Like if I hear something, right, it doesn't mean unless I actually do it. Like if I hear people tell me, like throughout my whole life, I've heard people tell me, "Oh, Erica, you know, you should eat healthier. You shouldn't eat so much chocolate. You should not eat fried foods." And I'm like, "Oh, okay, you know, I'll lessen on that stuff." And the next thing I know, I'm out buying Cheetos. I'm eating like nachos. I'm eating like crunch candy bars, M&Ms, and it's just like, yeah, you can, so you can hear the advice, but it's really up to you to take it. And I'm still like, I'm not perfect at all. I ate a cookie with sugar because I found a cookie lying around, and I was like, oh, like I had the cookie inside of a container. I thought like myself like, oh, Erica, well, JD finally went up to 103, so maybe you should eat a cookie. So I was only gonna eat half the cookie, and then I ended up eating the whole cookie. And I think the whole cookie was like 10 grams of sugar or something, maybe 15, who knows. But it was a tasty cookie, but an addicted cookie. So I have no more cookies that I can eat. So I am done eating my cookie for today. Yeah, I think, Drew, the reason why women are like that, and this is just my speculation, is women have this whole thing about, you know, nesting, right? So they're like, oh, okay, you know, here's a space, I want to make it like a little nest. So and then they you know, they buy home decor items. They're like, okay, we'll make it more cozy and cuddly. Oh wait, doesn't work. I gotta buy more stuff. Oh, okay, and then it just like it turns it. It's not like a whole territorial expansion thing. Okay, so don't think of it like Erica wants to like leave her mark here, and she's like, I'm gonna, you know, it's not like I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna be like, you know, I have marked this territory with my sunflower and I lay claim to it. Like, that's not it. Like, I see the sunflower and I think like, oh, this is so cute. I think this apartment can use more pops of color. So then I pick up the sunflower because I think it's sweet and it makes me smile. I love the sunflower. See how big it is? I remember where I found the sunflower. It was it this one? Yeah, it was this one. This was actually two apartments down from us, and someone had like a little free box, and I saw this. And this was actually one of the first fake florals I picked up. I had no idea what I was gonna do with the sunflower, but I love the sunflower so much. Thankfully, things came together, and the next thing I know, I have a freaking arrangement. And let me see if I can pull this up on screen because I don't want to move because I think it's gonna be wonky. But next thing I know, and it's just like I just love it so much because I just think like when I look at it, like although it's like a pop of color, it's just so much like pretty flowers in there. And I don't know what this is. I have no idea. But like whenever I look at flowers, it always brings this to my face. So there's another thing too. If you want a mood booster, or if you know someone who is depressed, either buy them flowers from Whole Foods or Trader Joe's, or go to a flower place yourself. Like, go stand in the flower aisle of like Trader Joe's, and you have to spend a penny. Okay, you just have to you just be around the flowers. There was a study that I was reading. They said if you surround yourself with flowers, I think it was something like 15 minutes, or maybe I was just like, I think it's 15 minutes, but they say if you stand around a whole bunch of flowers, it's gonna uplift your mood. So I like having these flowers around me all the time because I work on things, so it's like my little hobby because I can rearrange it, and then I can see it try to be prettier and prettier and prettier, and then afterwards I feel a sense of accomplishment because not only did I rescue these things, but I rearrange them so that way they are very much loved. So let's see here. Aww. Yeah, no, I don't. I actually give away a lot of stuff. I am trying to rehome things, so that takes a while. I also do free boxes, so if I don't want something, then, like for instance, right? Here's two things that I have off on the side. So this is one. So I was thinking about getting rid of this one because although it's a cute little sign, see it says creativity is experimenting, growing, taking risks, breaking rules, making mistakes, and having fun. I like it, but part of me kind of thinks like it doesn't really match with the decor here. You see, we have so much different colors, and adding one of these words might be a little too busy. You see, especially against the brick. Like this stuff doesn't really work. So maybe someone else will like this thing. And then I also have my little teacup holder over here. So you can put tea over here, tea leaves. The only downside about this is I just kind of think it's kind of unwieldy. So yeah, like things like that. I'm just like, I think they would be better off in a better home, and then someone could actually cherish it a lot more than me. So there's like a part of me that I really like having these things, but then there's another part. You can kind of see like my whole color scheme here, right? This, my flowers. It's very girly. It's very bright, and this is not color schemes that you would associate with Lewis. He's more like a red, black, white, gray kind of guy. And I am all about my cute little figurines, and I'm trying to tone it down. And I'm also into things like rock salt decor, and also humidifiers over here. We have two different decorating styles, and he's told me, he said, Erica, if when he decides to get a house, he wants to get like a 2-story house. And I said, why? And he said, so you can have your own floor, Erica. And I was thinking to myself, like, really? You want to just relegate me off to my own floor? So yeah, so I guess his floor would be like sparse, and it would just have a computer, a desk, not even a sofa. It would just be a computer, a desk, maybe a refrigerator, and that's probably it. And speakers. And mine's would be like freaking floral gone wild over here. I would have like shelving. I would have like so much cute decorations. I'd have a plushie place. You could kind of clearly see like the difference in our styles. And if you don't believe me, if you look back in his old videos, like his oldest videos, you can see how the apartment was before. It was just kind of studio, a table, 2 chairs, and a recliner. And that's, I'm like, oh, that's not welcoming. You need to have like yeah, I like, my thinking is like I've always thought about homes as being like a place where you want to make it look so colorful and welcoming, and it's hard because it's like I see places online and then it just looks so minimalistic, but then it also looks like these people never ever have like a scrap of paper out. Like it's just like you never have a note, you don't have a notebook or anything. It's just like bare, 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 bare. Like no pen out. It looks like nobody lives there. And for me, it's like I just kind of think like, hey, I got my little station here with my snacks, and I actually do eat. And yeah. So let me see over here. No, I don't paint. I'm not good at painting. I tried, I thought about painting. I thought about getting into like knitting, but the knitting stuff didn't really stick with me. I think part of it is like I'm one of those people who likes to want to see quick results when it comes to making arts and crafts stuff. So spending hours or months or weeks knitting something, and then maybe me not using it mentally, I'm like, Erica, I don't think you're really much of a knitter. Ooh, Ooh, wow, look at Future Astronaut. That is smart. Finding canvases already painted. And then, yeah, I hear people do the same thing about frames. So if they want to, let's say if they get a nice print or something, they'll buy an old frame picture and then they'll just throw away the picture, they'll donate the picture, and then use frames for their own thing. Yeah, so Sandra, you're right. I originally, like, I used to think like having, like, okay, originally, right? I thought to myself like, oh man, I would like to have like nicer furniture over here, more, like nicer stuff. And then it kind of realized, it dawned on me, seeing the way these cats are, they've actually puked on this gray couch behind me. That's why we have a couch protector on this thing. So they scratch things, they puke on things. I don't know how these cats keep puking hairballs, but they do, and it's just like anything is fair game to them. If you look at some of the furniture, we had to throw away a couch because it had these big scratch marks, and never mind that these cats have so much freaking scratching posts. They have at least 8 scratching posts in this apartment. One, two, three. No, probably over 12 scratching things, scratching posts slash scratching things that they can use. That they still sometimes scratch the furniture. And my thinking is like we just need more scratching posts. So whenever if I'm like out and about and someone throws away a scratching post or a thing, I'm like, hey, I'm gonna bring that home because these cats just love scratching. I don't know what it is, but it's gotten to the point where it's like I want to make sure within every 10 feet they have something to scratch. And if there's no area for them to scratch, then I think they're just gonna be lazy and then think, oh, okay, I'm gonna scratch scratch whatever's in front of me. Oreo, for example, used to scratch our headboard. When we sleep at night, the headboard, he used to scratch it. So he'd be on the bed sleeping, and then whenever he feels like scratching, he just like retract his claws out. So what I had to do is that for his kitty stairs, right underneath the kitty stairs, that's like this, I put a scratching little cardboard scratcher underneath it. So before he goes on the stairs, he has the ability to just walk straight and scratch his use the scratching post. And that's actually helped a lot because now Oreo, if he feels like the urge to scratch, he can just use the cardboard scratcher underneath the stairs. But he also scratches the stairs as well. I don't know, but at least he's not doing the headboard. Yeah. So definitely having scratching posts around this apartment is good. Having cheaper furniture is good. I'm a big fan of acrylic furniture, as you guys know. I have an acrylic chair. Let me show you guys this. Ooh. See, I have an acrylic chair. Whoops, that's me. Why am I showing you guys me? So I have an acrylic chair over here. This is the one I did repairs. See that? And I like it. I like the look of an acrylic chair a lot, and I like the look of acrylic table a lot. It kind of encourages me, and this is what I've shared with you guys in the past, like having an acrylic chair, having an acrylic table encourages me to keep it clear, because when you look at it, and I know that sounds kind of funny coming from me, but when you look at it, it's like if you have too much on that stuff, it just looks chaotic because you can also see the floor underneath. So I try to organize best I can with this kind of stuff, but it isn't that comfortable. It's like sitting in a plastic spoon. That's the best way I can describe it. Well, it's not the most comfortable chair, but it's also not uncomfortable as well. It's like a design looking chair. Hear that? And I like the look of it. But if I had to pick between that chair and this computer chair, I would pick this computer chair over this acrylic chair. It just looks cute. That's what I'm trying to get at. Hello. So yeah, it's a JP over here. So I have to worry about my video lanes because I know people are telling me like, Erica, I'm not gonna watch a 1 hour video of you. But yeah, I like talking to you guys, and I like sharing the stuff that I should actually work on editing video, but the part of me is just like I rather just do a live stream instead and try to cut my cut my conversations a little short. So I will talk to you guys later, and I hope you guys stay warm. I have to. Oh, it's snowing outside, I think. Yeah. I have to do a few things around the apartment, so I will talk to you guys later. And laundry calls on me just like it always does. It's crazy how much laundry we go through. Like, I always feel like I'm doing laundry, and then it's just like a cycle of doing laundry, waiting for it to dry, do more laundry and more laundry. Crazy. But yeah, I shall see you.